The judge in the Karen Reid case has finally made a decision. This is the one where the a mistrial was declared, and I'll link below my previous readings on this case. But the mistrial was declared, and then after that, the jurors contacted the prosecution and the defense, and some of the jurors contacted them and said that they had reached a decision on two of the charges, not on the third one, but they didn't get a chance to tell the judge that they'd reached a decision on two of the three, because when they said that they were deadlocked, they meant they were deadlocked on one of the charges, and the judge declared a mistrial very quickly and sent them home, and they didn't have a chance to let people know that they had actually made a decision on two of the three charges. So I'm just going to quickly read two cards on the judge's energy, and then one on the defense and one on the prosecution, and then I'll tell you more about what the judge's decision. Mildew fairy, dirty. So that's the judge's energy. Not a clean judge. This is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I wonder if there is more to her decision than what meets the eye. I wonder if, well, mildew stinks, doesn't it? So I'm asking for her energy, and her energy stinks. One more about the judge. It says it's time to be brave. Look how scared she looks. Look at the sword there. She's made a decision, but I wonder if it was against her better judgment. I wonder if she was influenced by outside forces, allegedly and for entertainment purposes only. Okay, we're going to pull one on the prosecution and then one on the defense. The energy of the prosecution in this case. Ghost people. So maybe pressing ahead with the prosecution is not the prosecutor's idea. It looks like there are outside influences. Allegedly, for entertainment purposes only. And what about the defense? What is the energy around the defense? They were hoping for a miracle. And there they are in the center. There's a skeleton on the one side, and this is a mask. This is the kind of masks that they used to use in plagues in days gone by. So it's kind of a plague mask, but it's got a body and a hat on it. So also a harbinger of death. So the defense is really feeling isolated. They're between the rock and a hard place, between the prosecutor and the judge. And they were concerned that it was going to turn out this way. And how did it turn out? Well, the judge said, even if those affidavits that she got from saying that the jury found not guilty in two of the cases, even if that was 100% true and the jury did in fact make that decision behind the scenes, she's not going to accept that because the decision wasn't made in open court. So she's the one who told the jury only to write it down on the form when they had a complete agreement. So they had a complete agreement on two of the counts, but not on the third count. So following her instructions, they said, well, we didn't write down the two we agreed on because we hadn't yet agreed on the third one. So basically she confused the jury and led them to believe that they could only write down decisions if they agreed on everything. But she said, even if I accept that you agreed on the two cases, on the two charges that were found not guilty, even if I believe that's what happened, I'm still not going to make that an order of this court because that finding was not presented in open court. But it wasn't presented in open court because she's the one who said, don't put it on the form unless you agree on everything. So basically she's interfered with the way that the jury has operated, and I cannot see how that can possibly be the right thing. If the juries find the person not guilty, that should be recorded. She should have got them back and asked them the question did you find guilty or not guilty? And if everybody said not guilty, she should have entered a formal decision of not guilty on 2 of the 3 charges. So we're going to read now about what does the judge think about the decision that she has made. Ghosts of the past. Past returns for a time. So I wonder if people behind the scenes, look at those masks. I wonder if people behind the scenes have got some dirt on her. This is allegedly for entertainment purposes only. I'm getting the impression that she was pressured. These cards are telling me that she was pressured and somebody is holding some dirt on her. And if she didn't cooperate and do what was required, she would have been ruined. Okay, so we're going to pull a card on the prosecution. What do they think of this decision? And then we'll go to Karen Reed's feelings, and then we'll go to the public's feelings. Prosecution. This is very much, I'm in charge, I'm the queen bee, you will do as I say, orchestrating the outcome. See, this lady's got 2 lights here. She's got one in her hand and one at the end of her beautiful feather. Her beautiful wing. She's showing the way. She's making sure that this gets followed. So I'm not saying it's a particular prosecutor, but definitely there's something going on in that prosecution department. And there's a ship right in the background there. So I think this is the case that's being guided, the decisions that are being guided, and the prosecutor's bringing 2 different lights, and they're guiding something that could be a potential shipwreck out of the darkness into the light. So this is so faint that probably the chances of a decision against Karen Reed, a successful prosecution, were very, very small, but because of their shenanigans, they've increased their chances. So I'm getting very much a devious vibe around the prosecution of this case. What do you think? Do you think Karen Reed is guilty? Do you think she's innocent? Do you think the judge behaved improperly? Certainly there was questionable, the evidence that came to light was questionable, and the investigators who investigated the case are now themselves under investigation. So it's a very shady case. How is the defense feeling about this decision? They think that the judge has been tainted. Just reading the energy of the cards. The prosecution, the defense thinks that somebody got to the judge and the judge did not make a fair decision. But it does say at the bottom here, an important end, a new beginning. So they've given up with this judge. This is what they thought would probably happen, and they're going to fight another day. They're going to fight in the next case. They're going to fight. They're going to appeal things. They know they're not going to get anywhere with this judge, and it's a matter of time before they can bring this case in front of a different judge to look at things from a new perspective. And I'm just clear the energy off those cards and just read here quickly. How is Karen Reed feeling at the moment with this decision? How is Karen Reed feeling? And then we'll get the public sentiment. How is Karen Reed feeling? She feels that everything was manipulated. See these ladies here, they're very stiff, they're very formal. She understands that it's a process that has to be followed. She's the center of attention of the case, but she understands that there's things going on behind the scenes, people talking, whispering to each other in the shadows, that are manipulating the process. So she feels very much as though she's part of a larger play, like a theatre, like a pantomime that's afoot. This is not so much about her, but about what's going on behind the scenes. So she's disappointed, but she's trying to hold her composure there. How else? Two more cards about Karen Reed. She thought that it would be impossible for her to get a good decision from the judge in this instance, but she was keeping herself grounded. She had lots of hope, but she knew that it was if the judge found in her favor in this instance, it would have been a bit of a dream. And she knew that the chances, see the childhood dreams, the chances of the judge finding in her favor at this stage were very low. One more on Karen Read, and then we'll get the public sentiment. We'll do the underlying. How's that? We're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. So she just thinks this whole thing is madness. It just doesn't make any sense to her. She doesn't understand the legal process. See that cat with that snarling. Somebody seems to be out to get her. She doesn't understand how, in the judge's words, even if the jury found her not guilty on 2 counts, the judge is not going to uphold or follow that decision. It's just the whole process is not making any sense to her. Okay, we're going to pull a couple of cards on the public. What do the public think of this? What's your view? Do you think she's guilty? Do you think she's not guilty? Do you think the judge's decision is right? For the judge to say, even if the entire jury voted not guilty behind the scenes at the end of that trial on 2 of the counts, I am just going to ignore that. I'm going to ignore what the jury said because it didn't come out in open court. Well, it didn't come out in open court, lady, because you rushed everything to declare everything a mistrial. Okay, so what do the public feel? I'm just going to clear these cards of my energy because I'm frustrated by this. If the jury should have the power to make the decision, not the judge. That's the whole tenet of the justice system. Okay, what do the public think? There's a very strong energy, interfering energy. So this is the judge standing in the way of a fair and just decision, standing in the way of the decision makers. The decision makers at the end there that's the jury. Those are the people, ordinary people, members, peers, member of the jury. And here's the judge standing in the way of the juror's decision coming out, and there's a baby bison there, and it's the prosecutor who's also standing in the way. And so a lot of people are feeling that justice was not served, but because this lady is looking very hopeful and very strong, they hope that justice will be served in the future. But this lady is looking back to the past, so yeah. So what's now is happened is in the past, and people, I think, are curious to see how this case is going to move forward. So what's happened in the past, they really don't see as justice. Beaver. Work. There's a lot more work for both sides to do. And I'm getting the impression here that there's a big frustration in the community that a lot has been hidden. A lot of the process has been hidden. It's been under wraps, and they don't know what's been happening in the background. And there's a little castle in the background, and people are suspicious. People are suspicious that as to why this case has been so strange. Why are the investigators under investigation? Why did the evidence not fully add up? Why was the investigator so callous towards the defendant in his text messages? Why did the jury's decision not get recorded properly? So this decision is causing people to lose confidence in the justice system. Yep. Again, people losing confidence in the justice system. The judge had the power to do the right thing here. The judge had the power to follow the decision that the jurors say they made, but she's just hiding behind the law. She's hiding behind process. She's saying, I don't have the power to do this, which is rubbish. She could have made that decision if she wanted to. Please do like this video if you do, and subscribe if you haven't. It makes a big difference to this channel. Freedom in a reverse. This crane flying free. This is my freedom card. Freedom in reverse. So I'm getting that this is Karen Read's energy. I'm not sure. I'll pull one more card to see what her future holds, but for the moment she's feeling stuck. She's not feeling free. This case is hanging on. It's around her neck again. Truth maybe is hidden with the moon there in the bottom. It's not able to shine. So, and not only is she facing this criminal re-prosecution, but the family members of John O'Keefe are now civilly suing her. when I choke, that always is at a point where there's something the cards want to particularly emphasize. And so I think maybe that civil suit is going to cause her significant stress and damage. Oh, there's my batshit crazy. Karen Reed just thinks that the whole world has gone mad. If the jurors say they found her not guilty and the judge says, even if I accept they found her not guilty, I'm not going to rule that she's not guilty. So she's lost all faith in the legal system. And so, yes, the saga continues. I have not read on the outcome. I might do that in a different video. Sending you all love and blessings.